What's going on, everybody? FYB presents Wise Word Wednesdays, a quick live stream to help you get closer to accomplishing your dreams. I'm your host, Joe Spider, and I do represent the fresh. I want to start off by saying, hold on, make sure I ain't having no issues. I want to start off by saying thank you to each and every person who took the time out of their busy day, busy schedules to listen or to watch the show. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. Follow the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel if you are not already doing so. That's Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel. Check it out. You can see all the other videos that we've done, the interviews. Well, I don't like interviews. I like to call them conversations, but technically they're considered interviews that I've done with other people. And I want to say thank you to everybody that already has done so. Please leave a comment. I want to shout out to everybody that's watching, whether you're watching on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Instagram Live. I want to say thank you to those that are tuned in. I'm seeing a little bit of a delay on the Instagram Live. Y'all let me know if y'all are having issues with what I am seeing here. Y'all let me know in the comments if I'm glitchy. It's showing glitchy on my end, but I don't know for sure if that's the case. Maybe it could just be the way that my browser is looking, but it looks like I'm having a little bit of a delay. Today we are going to talk about some of the response that I've gotten from the video that I posted on my social media these past few days. Just been interesting, man. Oh, shout out to my man Sky. He said he loved the countdown. I appreciate you. Brother. That's my big dog right there out in Southern California, man, doing it big. So I definitely appreciate you just taking the time just to even tune in for a quick minute. Okay, Stacks on Rack said I'm good. Okay, I appreciate it. I'm glad it looks good. It just could just be my browser. So I appreciate y'all. But again, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel, whether you're watching this live or whether you're listening on podcasts on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I just appreciate you, man. It's been an interesting couple of days for me watching the response to the video that I posted. I'm sure most of you are probably already seen it if you're on this live right now. So I won't show it again. I'll kind of spare you that. But you can always go to the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel to see the whole video. But you can also go to my Instagram, the Joe Spider _FYB to check out the clip of the video. But it was a video where I talked about, I guess I probably should pull it up, huh? Just for, okay, give me a second. Let me, I'm going to pull it up because I realized that I'm on YouTube as well, YouTube Live, and they're not on my Instagram. So give me a second here while I pull up this video so that I could just show the people, what my comments are about. I don't want to, leave anybody hanging with information. So give me 1 second. Let me pull up this video here. And then I will go ahead and share screen once I have it pulled up. So that way I could, okay, I have that pulled up. Let's go back to this. And let's see if I can present. Share screen. Window. Boom. Okay. So I'll go ahead and play this video just for people who might not be aware of it. I'm going to go ahead and play it. You can take a look.
For example, I tell any girl that I'm on a date with, I say, tell me 2 things that you did in your previous relationship where you were wrong. And it cannot be from a victim mentality. That means you cannot say, I should have listened to my friends. You cannot say, I should have known that he was this. You have to tell me 2 things that if I called him up, he would be able to say, these are the 2 things she did wrong. So you're the aggressor. Like maybe you don't listen well. Like, oh, you know what? I never listened to him when he told me he was hurting. Or I never gave him the attention that he needed. I prioritized my friends more than him. Those are things where you are the aggressor. If a person cannot tell me 2 things that they did wrong in their previous relationship that tells me that they are not self-aware and that they think that they're innocent.
Okay, so that was the video that I posted on my my Instagram, on just really all my socials. And it was an interesting kind of response. I've gotten a couple of different responses. All right. I've gotten some responses in the comment section, and I've gotten some responses in my DMs. And then I've also just kind of seen other people converse about it as well, too, in their comment sections and things like that. I am definitely a comment creeper. I will go into different pages, different posts that I see that are viral or popular or whatever, and I will literally comment creep. I will look at the comment section and see how people are responding to any type of popular thing. But I think that shout out to my man Bookworm Sigma. What's going on, bro? I got some clips that I'm about to drop from your interview, man, or from your conversation. I appreciate you. I'll be dropping them probably this week. So shout out to you, man. I always appreciate you. We'll definitely gotta have you back on again. That's my man Jason right there. I don't know. I don't even know if you're in the US right now, but I appreciate you. But so I'm a comment creeper. I do a lot of reading the comments. I do a lot just to kind of gauge where the community is. And obviously, I'm not going to read every comment when it's 30,000 comments or 10,000 comments or anything like that. But I just like to get an idea, right, of where the community is from time to time. And so what I've been able to gather from the comments and from the responses that I've gotten in this particular video, it's been interesting. I mean, I think the important part about when you hear something like what I said, I think it's important to pay attention to the context, right? This is a clip. This is a clip that's less than a minute long about an entire conversation. Oh, my man Jason said he gonna be in Lithuania tomorrow. My man, going crazy. Enjoy that travel. Addie, what's up? I got to get you on the show one of these days to talk about your cooking, your vegan cookbook. Definitely love you, man. Appreciate you. But I think context is super critical, right? When you're talking about taking any clip, and this is kind of why I've hesitated in how or at least I've reshaped the way that I respond to or altered the way that I respond to certain video clips. I try to make sure that I have context before I do anything like that because of how certain things can be taken out of context, whether it be from news articles, whether it be from, these flashy headlines, whether it be video clips, anything like that. I always try to try to get the full context or as much context as possible. I still have not seen the full Simone Biles interview on The Pivot. I know there was a huge outroar and outpouring. I read the comments section and it seemed like it was going crazy. I did see clips of it, but the reason I didn't comment on it so much publicly is because I haven't seen the video in its entirety, and I would like to have full context. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because a lot of the criticism that I've gotten from people, and I'll show you some of the comments, including a more recent comment that happened today in a conversation that happened between two people in the comment section, is that I think people are so quick to react to what's being said as opposed to take in the message and to absorb it and to pay attention to the message and then and really receive it. I think a lot of people are like, as soon as they hear something, they're like, boom, my shield's up, or boom, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to attack, what's being said. But I think it's really important that we take our time to listen to what's actually being said and receive the message and to not necessarily to listen to respond, but to listen to understand. And I say that all the time. And I use this as an example a lot of times when I'm giving like my presentations, my public speaking engagements. I always say that my mother told me when I was growing up, she said, dogs react, humans respond. Which one are you? And I think a lot of people, especially on social media, it's very, very easy to respond. There have been let me not try to make it seem like as if I'm innocent. There have been plenty of times where I have typed up a full on response to something that somebody said, and then I'll just delete it, as opposed to actually push and submit. He said, show the clip so I know. Hey, Scott, you missed it, man. You must have logged out and I showed the clip a few seconds ago, man, a few minutes ago. You must have logged out. But I'll tell you what, you can log out of the live right now and then go into my it's the comment where that I posted 2 days ago about, or yesterday, I think maybe, about the question that I ask women in dating. And again, it's basically asking, I say that any date that I'm on, that I'm seriously considering somebody for a future, I always say, can you tell me 2 things that you did wrong in your previous relationship? But it can't be from a victim mentality. And when I say a victim mentality, you can't say, well, I did this because someone first offended me. I did this because he did that. I did this because in response to that wrongdoing. It's can you name some times where you were the initiator of the wrongdoing as opposed to the response from a wrongdoing? And I say the reason I ask those questions is because I want people to know. I want to see if the person is self-aware. I want to see if they're actively, progressively making change towards being better, or are they always playing victim? Is it always the only reason they're not in a relationship is because the other person's terrible? The other person did everything wrong. The other person is. It's easy to point the finger, right? But if you're really self-aware and you understand who you are, let's not even go that far. Let's just take it back to, we as humans, right? We are not perfect. I grew up with a big family. I got a lot of siblings, okay? And I shared a room with my brother for 17 years. You know what I'm saying? 2 people. If you put 2 human beings in a space together over a period of time, there's bound to be conflict. It doesn't have to be extremely like physical conflict. Okay, my man Scott said he saw it. I'm glad. It doesn't have to be extreme physical conflict. It doesn't have to be conflict that's dangerous, but there's always going to be conflict, even if those 2 people were raised under the same conditions. My brother and I, we disagree on a lot of things. We have different perspectives, and that's okay. Even though we were raised in the same household, under the same guidelines, the same rules, we're 14 months apart, right? And I think that anybody who's not self-aware enough at this stage of my life, again, I'm speaking anecdotally, at this stage of my life, anybody who is not self-aware enough to know that they had wronged someone they had wronged their ex at some point, they were the initiator of the wrongdoing in their previous relationship, I personally don't have the time to help that person fix that problem. My man Tay's in it. Man, Tay, you always be on the show, man. Shout out to you, bro. It's love. Me and Tay go back. I think my man Trey is in the building. We go back as well too, man. Shout out to y'all. Tay said the message I gathered from you asking the question to lead to a deeper convo, wanting to know if the person is growing. And is that the message? Absolutely. Tay, you are 100% spot on, man. I just want to see if a person is actively growing. Because I don't have the patience. I don't have the ability at this point in my life, at this stage, to help fix that. Maybe if I was 22, I would have the time and the patience to be able to deal with that. I'm not 22 anymore. I'm in my 30s. And so I don't have the patience and the time to be able to sit back and help this person filter through that problem, because it's a deeper problem. You're saying that you are always innocent. You are always the victim of wrongdoing. You are incapable of being the perpetrator. And I think that a lot of people that I've been in conversation with in regards to dating, right? So I'm talking about specifically heterosexual women that I've dated in my past, and not just in my past, heterosexual women that I've talked to in general, not even the ones that I'm trying to be intimate with or trying to even create an intimate relationship with, just women in general that I've talked to over my years of experience. A lot of them have a hard time painting themselves or acknowledging, I don't want to say painting, acknowledging themselves as the perpetrator of wrongdoing in their previous relationship. It's always, well, I was perfect until they did this, and so I responded like that. I can deal with a person who says, hey, I was a jerk in my last relationship. I didn't listen to what he said in my last relationship. I was disrespectful in my last relationship. I didn't listen in my last relationship. I can deal with those things because those things still show me that, one, you're aware that you did it, and I'm looking to see, are you actively working to change that? A person who says I didn't do anything wrong until I was wronged first, that is a person who is not self-aware enough for me in my relationship, in what I'm looking for. I didn't tell anybody, if she says this, if she responds in a negative, run away, even though I probably think history would show, you know what I mean, that it's probably best to step away from that relationship until that person figures things out for themselves and grows and does the steps towards growth. But I think I didn't say that in the interview, at least, or in the conversation at the time. I didn't say this person is a bad person. I didn't say this person is unwifeable, incapable of having a successful relationship. All I said was that if they are not answering this question if they're not able to provide me the two things that they did wrong in their previous relationship, it's a red flag for me. It's bad. I don't have the patience for that. But I want to get into some of the comments that I received. And I'll talk about one comment specifically that someone deleted their comments after insulting me. But luckily enough, I was able to screenshot the last comment, which was the final. They tried to hit me with the RKO, but again, I wasn't about that. But give me 1 second here. Let me share screen. I'm going to show you all the kind of responses that I got. And one was an interesting one, and I'll talk about it when I get a chance here. Hold on. Let's see. Let's bring this up. Okay. My bad, y'all. My bad. Let's see. Let's bring that to here. Okay. I know, y'all. I appreciate y'all's patience. Patience with me. Present. Here we go. I'm still getting used to this here. Okay. So, oh man, is that big enough for you to see? I don't think so. Hold on. Let me see if I can make this larger here. Sorry, y'all. Let me see if I can get myself situated with this here comment section, because that ain't gonna cut it. But I do. Let me read this comment while I have it. Tay says, he said, yeah, also after finding out what their critique of themselves is, gives one the opportunity, if that's even a pill they can swallow. In your 30s, you're not looking to guide someone through life. Exactly. I think that's critical, right? Like, the older you get, the more that you or the less patience that you have for certain things. It doesn't make a person bad or wrong. You just don't have the patience for it. Okay. I'm hoping y'all can read this. I tried to make it bigger. Let me see if I could just do the comments like that. Maybe you can see that there we go. Okay. So here's one of the comments, and I'll read it for you if it's not big enough. I apologize. I'll read it for you so that hopefully that can help. Let me see. See if I can drag this out a little bit. Nope. Okay. But the first comment, it says, this was a conversation that actually happened earlier today. And it says, but if I wasn't the aggressor, I'll just state that I stayed in a relationship where I coddled someone for too long, or I assumed what I was shown in the beginning would match the ideals or growth he said would come. So shout out to I think that's lovely Tabe. Lovely Tabe. I appreciate you for commenting first and foremost. I appreciate you for checking out the video. I appreciate everybody for checking out the video. But I think the important part that and then 91 inches had the conversation said you would be filtered out immediately, which I thought was hilarious. But what I think was interesting, the interesting part about that is that their first response to what the question was to go back into what the other person had done to them, right? They weren't the aggressor, but they stayed in a relationship where they coddled someone, right? They were the victims. I had to baby him. And that's not, and it's not to say that that didn't happen. It's not to say that that's not true. It's not to say that that wasn't a wrongdoing in their relationship. But the purpose of this question is to say, what are the things that you did? What are the things that you did? I don't want to know what he did wrong, right? At least not at this moment. I want to know, are you aware of the things that you did where you were the aggressor? And some people might say, oh, well, that's just, that maybe that's just how their relationship went, which again, it's possible. But then go back to this, right? The next question or the next response to that was, okay, I'm not sure why the female has to be the problem. My existence could trigger someone because I remind them of their mother. That's my fault, huh? Communicating solutions like therapy and just conversation. I just won't take responsibility for someone saying one thing and doing another and not wanting to stay in that, but go off. I think my concern with where she's going in that comment, in that response, is that, again, the immediate response is to reflect, right? It's to go towards, well, he did. Well, look at what's over there. And if you watch my Wise Word Wednesday this morning that I posted, it talked about how I feel that pain. I'm empathetic to them because I remember when I was there. I remember what it's like. I have sympathy, right? I remember what it was like to be in a position of pain where you can only see things from the lens of your pain. You can only see things from the lens of where you feel right now, that emotional dump that you have, right? And then I will give credit where credit is due. Whoever this 91 inches is, 91_inches, I appreciate you, because his next comment said it's not about the female being the problem, but if you can't honestly admit one or two things you did wrong in a relationship, then you're clearly the problem, because nobody is perfect. Not that deep, just a quick test to see if someone has the ability to be honest and hold themselves accountable, which is exactly, y'all, that's exactly the point. It's not to say like women are terrible. It's not to be a women basher. It's not a red pill type of situation. It's not like saying we don't need no women. Like, it's not saying any of that. What it's just saying is, do you know things that you've done wrong that you need to improve on, or that you have improved, or that you're working to improve? That's it. That's it. Every human being should be able to look in a previous situation where they handled things wrong, where they did things wrong. And I'm not saying that there aren't any cases where someone was not the initiator or the instigator of the wrongdoing. But what I am saying is that if you have a serious relationship with a person over a long period of time, it is impossible to not be the initiator of wrong. It's impossible. Now, if you just met someone and they go and you're just saying hi, you're walking across the street or walking by, passing each other on the sidewalk, you wave hi and they just go off on you. That's a scenario where like, yo, I didn't do anything wrong. All I said was hi. This person was tripping. This person was crazy. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about a relationship. And that's why I specifically say relationship. I don't say situationship. I don't say in your previous hookup situation. I don't say your previous when you was the side. I said in your relationship. So this is why it's important to understand what a person is saying and to receive the message as opposed to looking at it through the lens of your own pain, because then you start to emotionally regurgitate a bunch of trauma and a bunch of pain onto that next individual, right? To where you can't even process things that are really meant to help you. Like my man Tay said, it's meant to find out if it's a pill that I can swallow, right? Because I want to know, are you self-aware enough to be able to have those things under control or to be able to actively work towards those things progressively? And if you don't, is that something I'm willing to deal with? Which the answer is no. But if you know what those issues are, then okay, cool. Is that something that I can help? You know what I'm saying? Is that something that's beyond my boundary or within my boundaries, right? Because everybody has boundaries. And I think, and I'll go to this last comment that this person left here, which again, I still appreciate this person being, leaving the comment, because it takes a level of vulnerability for anybody to talk about their own circumstances or situations on a public platform. It does take a level of vulnerability, and you don't know what the outcome is going to be like when you leave these comments. You don't know what people are going to say. I could be a bashing person and be like, well, you did it. And that's just, what you're susceptible to. So I appreciate anybody that's out there being vulnerable, but I do think it's important for us to look deeper into what's going on. And I think a lot of men don't have the ability to articulate this issue without it blowing up on them, and having the patience and having the ability to calmly respond to what's being said without, it turning into a big deal. This doesn't affect my relationship. These comments don't affect my relationship. These comments don't affect my relationship status. It will, I guess it could, if somebody doesn't like, me being on social media, I guess that could technically affect my relationship status. But I'm saying my relationship isn't necessarily being decided by what people say in the comments, but what the conversations that people are having every day with their partner is being decided by that, right? Is being decided not by the comments, but by their connection, by their interaction, by their communication. And I think this is an important issue that a lot of men need to be able to talk about. A lot of women need to be able to talk about. A lot of relationships need to be able to talk about. So I'll go back into the final comment that this person left, and then we'll finish it off with the comment that somebody kind of went in on me, or tried to give me the RKO. So the final comment here, she said, and again, this is lovely Tabe, I think that's their name. They said, no one mentioned being perfect. I literally said that I can openly talk about therapy and communication. Wait, hold on. I literally said that I could talk about therapy and communication. But if a man is saying that he is XYZ and doesn't live up to that, I'm not required to stay. It's not about being perfect, but it's setting boundaries and then walking away from them when they're not being met respectfully. So I don't need to be a perfect person, but I can know that the other person isn't for me. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing or wrongdoing for me to admit there. Comparability, and sticking by your word are key. If you can do that, I'm not going to pull reasons out my ass as to why they capitalize, I'm the problem. I understand what you want to say here, but you don't get me, and that's fine. Just like how I'm leaving this here. Oh, did I cut it off? Oh man, I cut it off. Just like how I'm leaving this here. I'm assuming they're saying they about to shake. It looks like I cut off that portion of it, but I think that the part that I want again to stress is that it's not about pointing the finger at somebody else. It's just about saying, hey, what are the things that, you could improve on? But if I say, what are the things you can improve on? Oftentimes I've noticed that people say the things that are nice, that aren't really real. Like, yeah, I can improve on, being more considerate. I can improve on, helping out. Like, no, I want to, let's go deeper. Let's talk about whether or not we are really compatible, right? Like, tell me the real you. And that's okay if we're not compatible. Great. I'm glad we found out now, as opposed to 2 months from now, as opposed to 3 months from now, as opposed to 6 months from now, as opposed to a year and a half from now. I'm glad we found out now, as opposed to later, right? Especially if I'm the one taking you, to the Cheesecake Factory. That's one of my new filters as well too. They be like, I'm like, you try to go on a date, they say where? I say the Cheesecake Factory. How you like that? You feel me? If you don't like the Cheesecake Factory, then you too bougie for me. I'm out. If you can't eat, if I can't take you to the Cheesecake Factory, if I can't take you to the coffee shop, to Starbucks, if I can't take you to any of those places, you're not for me, sweetheart. And I wish you the best. It doesn't mean that I don't like eating at those good places, but again, I'm interested in somebody who's genuinely interested in getting to know me, not necessarily where we're at. I should be able to say, hey, let's go for a walk in the park. I should be able to say, hey, let's go grab some ice cream. I should be able to say, hey, let's go to In-N-Out. Let's go here. Let's go there. It's different if you like, yo, I don't eat beef, so I don't like In-N-Out. Okay, cool. That's different. We can go somewhere else. I should be able, it's not about the location. It's about the time that we spend and whether or not we get to know each other for real. All right, I'm gonna say this last comment and then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna show y'all this last comment where this person here really tried to, tried to go in. They talked about, like I said, they deleted their initial comments because I guess they were upset. They talked about how these questions are a form of microaggression, is what they were kind of not only alluding to. This is what they said in the comments. And again, I would show you, but they deleted them. It said that this is a form of microaggressions. They said there's other ways to find out if people are self-aware without asking this particular question. It's microaggression. And what if the person hadn't done anything wrong? And, I responded in the comments. It was just like, hey, I always start with, hey, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. This question, I basically, again, said what I said earlier. It's impossible for somebody to not be wrong, like ever in a relationship, and I said, I think that this question is meant to, help people understand whether or not this is a good person for them. And yeah, there may be other ways, but this is my way. That's what I said. I said, I do this. I say this when I go out on a date. That's what I said, and again, I never say it in a demeaning way. I never make anybody feel bad for why for what they did or why they did it. You know what I mean? I acknowledge it. Now, if you saying, if you coming to me with some attitude, then, I'm not gonna make you feel bad, but I'm gonna give you a reality check for sure. Now, the person, after they left their comment saying that it was microaggression and, that he's the problem and if dudes, need therapy and get their act together and so on and so forth. And again, I am a strong advocate for therapy for the right reasons. I'm not one of those people who's trying to advocate for therapy because it makes me feel good. By saying I do therapy or I've done therapy, I say it because I want people to understand that everybody should have access to therapy. I believe in that. I think everybody should have access to affordable therapy. And I think that therapy is not just meant for people who are going through things and that are at a downtime. It's not meant just for people who are struggling right now. It's meant for everybody. It really is. Everybody can be can benefit from therapy. Doesn't mean everybody will. I'm just saying everybody can benefit from therapy, because in life, you're go through things and you're processing them as you go. And you don't necessarily know how these things are going to impact you as a person or how they are impacting you as a person. There may be something that happened to you when you were 7 years old that's impacting you at 25 years old, but you don't recognize the impact. You're just displaying the behavior. And this is why they say hurt people, because when you're still seeing life through that lens of hurt, you can't even recognize the people that you've put out because of that, the people that you've put down because of that, the people that you hurt because of that. So after this person had talked about therapy and, such and such, I said, and then what happened was I was following them. They were following me, is that they unfollowed me. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. They unfollowed me. And they also, I guess, made me unfollow them because I couldn't even reply to the message, to the comment with by replying to them. I couldn't at them. It said this person doesn't allow people who they block me and then lock their page. This person can't respond to or allow people to respond to or at them if they're not following them. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went under the comment and said, hey, I guess this person got a little sensitive because they blocked me or removed me from their friends. But it's all love, And then I'll show you the comment that they said. And again, the only reason I don't have the full comment is because they deleted the thread. They said, don't be a bitch about it. Sensitive is you sitting up podcasting. Don't be a bitch about it. Sensitive is you sitting up podcasting. And this is from When Not Wendy. WENNOTWENDY. Listen, I think this speaks to a bigger issue that I have. It's not that this person is clearly hurt, right? This person is clearly struggling, and that's okay. The issue that I have, which again, if you look back, this is a microcosm of the issues that a lot of men are dealing with, right? Is that if I genuinely call out any type of negative behavior from a woman that I'm interested in, or even that I'm not interested in intimately, if I call out that behavior or speak on it or challenge the fact that it is impossible for a person to be 100% innocent in a relationship over time, innocent of initiating any wrongdoing. If I challenge, right, that, if I challenge a person who says, no, I'm 100% innocent, I've never done anything in my previous relationship. The only reason why I'm single is because that person messed up everything. I never did anything wrong where I was the initiator. The only time I did wrong is because they did me wrong. If I challenge that concept by form of podcasting or by form of just communicating, I'm a bitch. I'm sassy, or it's giving sassy, right? If I just speak about something that is very, very real, something that is true, and because I disagree, even if it's in a respectful manner, bitching, don't be a bitch about it. Sensitive is me podcasting. I'm not allowed to speak about something that I know for sure, not even for sure, something that I know is 100% true. I am not allowed to speak about it, whether it be by form of podcast or by form of comments under my own post. Now, this person, like I said, they blocked me and then they deleted their comment. So I can't show you I wish I could show you, just like I showed you this full thread. I wish I could show you the thread of what this person said. But just imagine, I need you to understand, to zoom back. Don't even take this person, because this is just a person who's hurt. But I need you to zoom back and recognize what happens when a man says, hey, Tell me some things that you did wrong, right? Ooh, here we go. Addie said, a lot of people will try to remove the negativity when challenged by the thought of protecting their peace. Ooh. Ooh. That's real. That is real. We have to, and the thing is, I love protecting your peace. I love that. But there's a difference, right? And I think this is what Addie is alluding to. There's a difference between, because she put protecting their peace in quotation marks. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a difference between protecting your peace and protecting your delusion, right? Protecting your the lies that exists within your head, or maybe just the skewed view, right? That exists within your own head, your own ideology. If a person can't sit back and say, hey, listen, I'm guilty of doing wrong too, not out of a response from being wronged. No, I did some wrong things too. That's okay. We're human beings. And 99% of the people who that are, I don't know, like I didn't do no research on it, so don't quote me on that. I know you stat people out there would be like, well, how does he know 99%? I'm sure a large majority of people who are in relationships with people who grew up in a different household than them, right? They're in a relationship with people who did not have the same upbringing as far as the household as them. They might have had similar beliefs, whether religiously or structurally and things like that, but they didn't literally grow up in the same household. So that's another human being that has a different perspective of how life works. So it is impossible for any two people who grew up in different households to be amongst each other and to never, ever be the aggressor or the initiator in regards to wrongdoing. It doesn't exist. But somehow, for some reason, people will watch the video and say, what if I wasn't the initiator? Their automatic response, and again, some of this was even in the DMs. And I think, again, that's why I tell people, watch the full conversation. Yes, the clip was accurate. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't 100%. Watch the full conversation where I break it down even more. But the video was accurate to what I said. But people's first reaction or response to the video is, what if I didn't do anything wrong? How is that possible? How do you think you can be? Now, again, we're not talking about somebody that you went on one date with. I said a relationship. It is impossible. You have to have this self-awareness. And I think I wasn't trying to like call anybody out based on the comments or nothing like that. But my point is just saying, I wanted to have proof I wanted to show you all proof that there are people out there who are suffering, who are struggling, who have a lens of hurt and pain and trauma and fear and just skewed minded, that are operating in our society. And a lot of times when we see these comments, our first thing is to go in and say, attack. Well, I'm going to defend my stance. No, I'm going to defend my stance. But what if you took a moment and you took their critique and you said, let me see if I can try to help this person navigate through it in a better way. Let me see if I can help them see what I'm trying to get at, because I'm going to be fine. Doesn't matter. After this comment, I'm going to close this and I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep and have a great day tomorrow, God willing. I'm going to be fine. But there are people out there who didn't do the work, who haven't done the work or in need of doing the work. But it starts with being aware that there is a problem in the first place. My man Tay said, okay, let's say you're near perfect. You may have not did full wrong, but you for damn sure might have an area of improvement. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody, like Tay said, even if you didn't do nothing wrong, quote unquote, right? Even if you didn't do nothing wrong, there are areas of improvement. And I can work with somebody who knows they have areas of improvement. I can work with somebody who's aware of the fact that they did wrong. I can work with somebody who's like, look, these are my problems. Boom, 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 boom. I can work with that. What I cannot work with, and what I think a lot of men should not be willing to work with, is a person who plays victim. A person who says, no, I was innocent. No, I didn't do anything. The only reason that we ever had any issues was because of him. I'm sorry. I can't work with that because that requires too much at this stage of my life. It requires too much attention or too many layers to peel back at this point. It's too many. I need somebody who's already peeled off that top layer at least, because we're going to go deep. We're going to go deep. And it's interesting because a lot of the times when I do go on dates and I do ask my series of questions, and I know Tay has been on the live before. Well, not on the live show, but he's been tuned in before, so he's heard some of the questions that I asked in a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of shows ago. But most times when I ask these questions, girls will be like, "Oh, nobody's ever asked that question before," and I'm like, that's interesting. Most of the questions I ask, they say dudes have never asked these kind of questions, and I think it shows that a lot of people don't know what they're looking for, and that's okay. It's okay when you're young if you don't know what you're looking for. It's a problem when you're older. It's okay when you're young that you don't know what you're looking for, because a lot of us when we're young don't even know who we are. I remember my pops. I'll leave with this. I'll finish with this final story before I let you go, because I know it's getting late. I remember my pops told me, he said, I was 24, 25, I think. And I was living in the Bay Area. And he told me, he said, son, don't get married or have kids until you're at least 30. I was 25 in a relationship, thinking like, yo, shorty, I'm good. Like, what you mean? I got a degree. Like, I work full-time job. I live on my own. Like, what you mean? Wait till I'm 30 for what? For what? Everything's fine. And fast forward to years later, now that I'm in my 30s, I understand. I understand what he meant, because he was telling me, son, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know the sacrifices of being a father. You don't know the sacrifices of being a husband. You don't know the toll that comes with. And I know that a lot of people in social media world like to reduce what men are to something monetary, like, oh, if he ain't bringing home a check and this and that. But it's so much more than that. It's so much more than just bringing home a check. It's so much more than just saying I'm a provider. It's so much more than just some money. It's so much more than what you can buy. It's so much more than taking someone to go get some new shoes or some new clothes or some bags, than taking them on a trip. It's so much more than that. And he was trying to convey that message to me, but because I was 25, I didn't understand it. But now I'm in my 30s and I get it. I get it. So if you're young and you're like, I don't know what I'm looking for, that's okay, because you still don't know who you are. And you haven't reached the developmental stage where you're like, okay, I'm ready to be the sacrifice. I'm ready to sacrifice all that's necessary. That's necessary, not that's wanted. All that's necessary. I'm ready to sacrifice that for the betterment of moving on to the next generation, or at the advancement of my family, the advancement of my people. So I said all that to say, we need empathy, we need sympathy, and there's a lot of hurt people out there, and hurt people hurt people. It's just a fact. Hurt people hurt people. So when you see comments Like the person who said, don't be a bitch about it. Sensitive is you up podcasting. I don't take it personal. When I read that, I promise you, I laughed. I laughed. That's what I was screenshotting because I was like, this is hilarious. But after my initial reaction, which was that this is hilarious, I felt bad for the person. I felt bad because they're so blinded by their own emotional state that they can't even see the truth, even when it's standing right in front of them, even when it's coming from a place of love, even when it's meant to help build them up. So when you see people online, and again, I will say I'm a habitual comment creeper. So I literally read comments all the time from a heck of different posts, funny posts, stupid posts, mean posts. I read it all. I try not read all the comments, but I read comments from all different, because I want to gauge where are people at? What are they seeing? What are they saying? What are they thinking? And a lot of times I just feel bad because I'm like, yo, these people are hurting. They're going through it. And many of them are going through it alone. Many people are struggling and they're just not saying anything, especially men. Especially men. And I got in a couple weeks, I'm having another person come back on here, my boy Levante. We're going to talk about mental health again, because I think it's important. I think a lot of men are struggling. You know, my research was on Black men, because we are suffering. We are being attacked in a lot of different ways. And so I try to do as much as I can to uplift that community. But not just Black men, though. I want to uplift everybody. But I think my focus in regards to research and study has just been Black men. So I appreciate y'all for taking a moment to can y'all do me a favor? Please go to the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Can you do me that favor? I appreciate each and every person that be watching on the Instagram live, on the YouTube live, on the Facebook live, on the X live. I appreciate y'all. But do me a favor and go to the just type in Wise Word Wednesday on your YouTube search bar and you will see that page. Hit that subscription button so that way you can, because if you watch it on the YouTube live, you can actually leave comments and I can put the comments on the show once you leave that comment, I could put that on the show. So it makes it a little bit more interactive. Like with Instagram live, it's cool because I can read them and I can read them aloud. But on on YouTube live, I can actually put the comment and add it to the show so that other people can see it and that you can also see your comment. So it makes it kind of cool. So please subscribe to the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel. I genuinely appreciate it. I got some merch that I'm about to drop. Limited. When I say limited, I mean limited. Super dope merch. I'm excited about it. I'll probably post about it this weekend. But yeah, man, I'm excited. If you want to be on the show, slide into the DMs. Let me know if you want to be on the show. I'll get you on. We can schedule it. My goal is to be on the show every night, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. There may be times where I have to release a pre-recorded episode because I do traveling and stuff sometimes for work, so I just don't have the time to be available on that Wednesday or whatever. But we can always record it on a Tuesday, a Friday, a Saturday if you want to, a Sunday, and then I can just post it on the YouTube live, and it'll seem like it's live, but it won't be. But please do me a favor, go to the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel, hit that subscription. Please leave a comment if you love it, and if you want to be on the show, we can organize it to get you on the show. I just ask that you have something to talk about as far as some positivity to put out there, some wise words, some words of encouragement, because that's what it's all about. We do not know everything. I struggle too. I go through stuff too. I be having problems too. You feel me? I ain't perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I work a regular job. You feel me? Like, I'm still out to get it. But I'm just saying that it doesn't mean that I don't have something that can help make somebody's life easier. It doesn't mean that you don't have something that can help make somebody's life easier. So whatever you do in every profession, any profession, I'm talking about I got a homegirl that work in the adult film industry. I'm trying to get on. You know what I mean? I talked. I know Zaddy. I said Zaddy. Addie. Well, you know her name is Zaddy on the IG. But Addie, you know, I want to get her on with the vegan cookbook. You know, no matter what profession you are, you have some insight that somebody needs to get into that field. Or even if you don't want to talk about your profession, your life, you have some insight that somebody needs to hear so that their life can be just a little bit better. I would feel terrible if I meet somebody that I've known for years and they tell me they're going through something that I already went through. I would feel bad. Okay. So I don't care what profession you have, man, we can have you on the show. We can talk about it. I don't care what you want to talk about. We can talk about it. The only thing I ask is that you just be able to leave some nuggets for people to be able to pick up so that their life can be a little bit easier. So again, subscribe to the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube show. So that way, when you leave your comments, I can actually put the comments within the 24 can't say pause. My bad, pause. I forgot. I don't know what I paused on or what I need to pause on, but I'm gonna say pause anyway. I apologize. My bad. But yeah, drop a comment on the in the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel if you can. Slide in the DMs if you want to be on the show. There's all types of stuff that we can that we can talk about. There's no limit, man. There's no limit. I've talked about politics. I've talked about education. I'll talk about anything. I talked about Hollywood. We had one of my homegirls who worked as a producer at Hollywood. She was on the show, talked about what it's like to be producing at Hollywood, who's worked with a variety of different things, HBO Max, all of that. I think she's dropping a new documentary that she just partnered with Snapchat on. So that's going to be super exciting. So just know, like, I'm open to whatever. As long as we can drop some nuggets, you know what I'm saying, for people to be able to gain and make their life better, man. That's what it's about. So FYB presents Wise Word Wednesdays. I appreciate y'all. Subscribe. Please subscribe to the Wise Word Wednesday YouTube channel. I'm going to leave y'all with a we fresh, and I love you. Slide in the DMs if you're trying to be on the show. Let's keep it moving. All right, y'all, be smooth.